and in this video I'm going to show you how you can quickly and easily create a beautiful dynamic 3D population map completely in your browser without downloading any data at all. I'm going to be using CARTO for this, so if you don't have an account, head over to carto.com for a free 2-week trial. The first thing I'll do is head to the Data Observatory and search for the country I want to map, in this case Vietnam. Then I'll filter the source to WorldPop and select and subscribe to the most recent 1 kilometre dataset. This dataset in its raw form is absolutely enormous, so I'm going to convert it to a spatial index called H3. Spatial indexes are a kind of lightweight global grid system and are ideal for this type of work. So, once I'm subscribed to the dataset, I'll click Access In to generate SQL code to access this data. I'll copy this code and make sure to note the variables I'm interested in this case, population. Then I'll head over to CARTO Workflows and create a new workflow with one of my connections. I'm just going to use the CARTO Data Warehouse connection, which is something available to all users. Now I have a new workflow set up, I'll quickly give it a name and drag a custom SQL select component onto my canvas. Remember that code I copied earlier? I'll paste that in here and I'll make my query a little more manageable by only selecting the population column and cells with a population of at least one person. I'll just run that initial component and you can see that this results in around 408,000 grid cells. If we were rendering this as a geometry, this would be super slow and heavy, so let's start to convert this to a spatial index. First, I'll convert each cell to centroids using the component stCentroid. Secondly, I'll convert those centroids into H3 cells using H3 from GeoPoint. This will create a H3 cell for each input point. I'll just run those next two components. You can see they turn green when complete and show the number of output features, which is really helpful for validating results. The final step here is to remove duplicate cells which may have been generated when multiple centroids fall into the extent of just one H3 cell. We'll do this using the group by component and we'll also sum the population within each cell. You can see we've now generated around 370,000 H3 cells. Let's quickly preview the data and map and then hit Create Map to create something a bit more visual in CARTO Builder. So, one of the really great things about spatial indexes is that they have multiple resolutions which are hierarchical. This means that the data will auto-aggregate different resolutions depending on the zoom level. You can also adjust the resolution manually. I'm going to turn it right up for maximum detail. First, I'm going to turn the stroke off as it's just a bit noisy for the style I'm aiming for. I'm then going to adjust the fill colour to be determined by the average population. The default classification method is logarithmic, but I'm going to change it to quantile, which means there will be an equal number of cells in each colour band. It's already starting to look pretty good, but let's flip it to 3D. I'm going to head right down to the bottom here and turn on height for this layer. I'll then choose the variable which will determine the height, here it's population, and then I'll play around with the vertical exaggeration until I get the look that I want. So I'm just going to stick with this exaggeration of 500, which looks pretty epic. Finally, I'm just going to show you an alternative styling option, which is one of my favourites. I'm just going to change the base map to dark matter and then the layer blending to additive. This affects the way the overlapping colours interact with each other and produces this amazing glowing effect. Then I'll just reverse the colour scheme so the lowest value is the most similar in colour to the base map. Check out how smooth and seamless the panning and zooming is on this map. That's those amazing H3 tiles at work. And that is pretty much it. Now I'm ready to share this map with my colleagues, my clients, or whoever. I hope you enjoyed this quick tutorial on turning huge data into manageable 3D maps, and thank you so much for watching.